Good afternoon, everyone. Ako nga po pala si Priscilla Montefalcon, ang inyong reporter for today. And ang aking tatalakayin ay ang La Indolencia de los Filipinos o sa Ingles ay Indolence of the Filipino People. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng indolence? Ang indolence ay tumutukoy sa katamaran o pagiging tamad. Ang Indolence of the Filipino People ay isinulat ni Dr. Jose Rizal noong 1890. Ito ay na-publish sa Madrid, Spain. Ito ay sinulat ni Jose Rizal bilang tugon sa paratang natamad daw ang mga Pilipino. Ipinahayag ni Rizal na ang posibleng dahilan ng tinatawag na katamaran ng mga Pilipino hindi bilang isang likas na katangian, kundi bilang bunga ng mga panlabas na salin. Ano nga ba ang mga nilalaman ng sanaysay ni Rizal na La Indolencia de los Filipinos? Ngayon, alamin natin. Sa sanaysay ni Rizal, dito ay pinuna ni Rizal ang mga nakaraang pag-aaral na nagsasabing likas na tamad ang mga Pilipino. Pinakita niya na ang mga Pilipino ay aktibo sa kalakalan at agrikultura bago pa man dumating ang mga Espanyol. Sinabi ni Rizal na may rason kung bakit tamad ang mga Pilipino. Ngayon, isa-isahin natin ang mga rason na ito. Unang rason ay the establishment of the galleon trade. Ipinunto ni Rizal na ang kalakalang galleon ay isa sa mga nagdulot ng pagkukulang sa pakikipag-ugnayan ng Pilipinas sa ibang mga bansa sa Asya at Gitnang Silangan na naglimita sa mga oportunidad ang ekonomiya ng mga Pilipino. Ito rin ang naging dahilan kung bakit hindi nakapagtrabaho ang mga Pilipino sa kanilang dapat gawin. Ngayon naman, dumako naman tayo sa pangalawang rason na the implementation of forced labor o polo while service o sapilitang paggawa.
Isa pang patakarang ipinutupad ng pamahalang Espanyol ay ang polo y servicios o sapilitang paggawa. Sakop nito ang lahat ng kalalakihang may edad 16 hanggang 60 taong gulang na may kakayahang magtrabaho at maglingkod sa mga paggawaan ng pamahalang Espanyol, gaya ng pagtatayo ng tulay, simbahan at paggawa o pagkukumpuni ng barkong galyon. Polista ang tawag sa mga naglilingkod dito. Sila ay nagtatrabaho ng 40 araw sa pamahalaan, ngunit ibinaba ito sa 15 araw noong taong 1884. May ilang polistang isinama ng pamahalang Espanyol sa paghihidigma sa mga Muslim at sa mga ekspedisyon sa ibang lugar. Makaliligtas lamang sa polo ang isang Pilipino kung siya ay may kakayahang magbayad ng fala o multa bilang kapalit ng kanyang hindi paglilingkod. Ngunit dahil sa kahirapan ay iilan lamang ang nakakaiwas dito. Ang mga katungkulan sa pamahalang gaya ng Gobernador Silio, Cabeza de Barangay at iba pang miyembro ng prinsipalya ay ligtas din sa polo. Maraming mga pulistang Pilipino ang nawalay sa kanilang mga pamilya dahil sa pagtatrabaho sa malayong mga lugar. Napabayaan din nila ang kanilang mga sariling kabuhayan at kadalasan ay lumalagpas pa sa takdang araw ang kanilang pagtatrabaho. Dahil sa polo, maraming gusali at gawaing pampubliko ang naitayo. Sa katunayan, ang maraming lumang simbahan ngayon ay itinayo ng mga polista. Para sa mga Pilipino noon, lahat ito ay bunga ng pang-aapi at pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol sa kanila.
Pangatlong rason naman ay ang Spain did not protect the people against foreign invaders and pirates. Noong panahon kasi ng Espanyol, kinuha ng mga Espanyol yung mga armas pangdigma ng mga Pilipino. Then nung dumating yung mga pirata sa Pilipinas, hindi sila pinaprotektahan ng mga Espanyol. And then, dahil nga wala silang armas, pandigma at hindi sila makalaban sa mga pirata, hindi nila na protektahan ng kanilang sarili. Kaya ganun, kaya nagalit yung mga Pilipino sa mga Espanyol. Pangatlo ay ang Crook system of education. Nung panahon doon ng mga Espanyol, ang mga eskwelahan, ang tinuturo lamang nila ay prayers or mga gawain sa church, o mga dapat gawin sa church. paglilingkod sa simbahan. Hindi sila nagtuturo about sa agrikultura, mga industries, gano'n, kung paano mga gagawin yung ganyan, paano matuto ng gano'n, na ganyan. Tapos, kaya gano'n. Kaya kulang yung kaalaman ng mga Pilipino para gumawa ng mga akbang o ibang bagay kung ano mga kailangan nilang gawin para mapaunlad yung kanilang sarili at ang kanilang bansa. Kaya hindi natin masisisi ang mga Pilipino kung bakit sila ganun. Kaya dahil sa kulang yung kanilang kaalaman. Next is, Spanish rulers were a bad example. Reason for Filipinos to despise manual labor. Sabi ni Rizal, "We're not lazy, you're the lazy one." Isa sa mga napansin ni Rizal is yung mga officials or administrator na Espanyol is tanghali na gumigising tapos maaga umaalis sa kanilang work. Tapos, yung mga Pilipino naman ay maaga gumigising at nagtatrabaho sa farm para maiwasan yung tropical heat. Ayon sa naobserbahan din ni Rizal, na yung mga babae na Espanyol ay sinusundan ng mga babaeng nagpapaypay sa kanila na dapat kaya nilang gawin. So, hindi mga tamad ang mga Pilipino, kundi ang mga Espanyol. Next is gambling. Ito yung katulad ng bingo, perya, mga pustahan o iba pa. Alam naman natin yan. Naging katuwaan na ito under the Spanish rule at until now, nare-retain natin. So, sabi ni Rizal, kinukurap nyo ang utak ng mga tao. Imbis na you hard-earned money na mapupunta sa tama at mapupunta sa pamilya, napupunta sa sugal. Kaya, sasabihin nyo na wala kaming pera. Hindi kami masipag kasi wala kaming pera. Imbis na susuwayin nyo, mas lalo nyo pinalala. Next naman na sinabi ni Rizal is, there was a crook system of religion. Ito yung sinasabi na, okay lang na mahirap ka. Pag namatay ka naman, palangit ka. O mapupunta ka sa langit. So sabi ni Rizal, why we are lazy? It's because you said it's good and we have this position in heaven. So, why you saying we're lazy? Kung una pa lang, yung sistema and your religion act makes us well and not subscribe to higher status because it's okay to be poor. So, kayo din ang maigawa kung bakit kami ganun kasi yun ang tinuro nyo sa amin. And next is the hot climate. Ayon sa sanaysay ni Rizal, an hour's work under that burning sun in the midst of pernicious influence springing from nature and activity is equal to a day's labor in a temperature climate. Sabi niya, yung isang oras na pagtatrabaho ng mga farmers dyan sa ilalim ng mainit na arawan ay katumbas ng buong araw na pagtatrabaho sa Europa na malamig. So sabi niya, hindi kami tamad. If you can see us sa pagising ninyo na late na kayo nagising, ang mga farmers ay nagkakape at nagpapahinga, hindi dahil sa tamad sila kundi tapos na silang magtrabaho and also kaya maaga silang natatapos magtrabaho dahil nga iniiwasan nila ang init kasi hindi rin kakayanin ng mga kalabaw nila ang init ng panahon. So, hindi talaga tamad ang mga Pilipino. At may rason kung bakit. The last causes is the taxes were extremely high. Hindi tamad ang mga Pilipino. Dahil sa napakataas na buwis ay nawalan ng gana magtrabaho ang mga Pilipino. ang malaking bahagi ng kinikita ng mga Pilipino ay napupunta sa pamahalaan o sa mga prayle. So dahil nawala ang layunin ng kanilang paggawa at sila ay sinamantala, nawalan ang mga Pilipino ng gana magtrabaho. So, sabi ni Rizal, "We're not lazy. Kayo ang dahilan kung bakit nawalan kami ng motivation para magtrabaho." So, sa madaling salita, ang mga sumusunod na causes ay nagpapakita na ang tinatawag na indolensya ng mga Pilipino ay hindi likas na katangian kundi bunga ng mga maling patakaran at pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol sa panahon ng kolonyalismo.
The Indolence of the Filipinos Summary and Analysis. The Indolence of the Filipinos is an exploratory essay written by Philippine national hero Dr. Jose Rizal to explain the alleged idleness of his people during the Spanish colonization. It is a study of the causes why the people did not, as was said, work hard during the Spanish regime. Rizal pointed out that long before the coming of the Spaniards, the Filipinos were industrious and hardworking. The Spanish reign brought about a decline in economic activities because of certain causes. First, the establishment of the galleon trade cut off all previous associations of the Philippines with other countries in Asia and the Middle East. As a result, business was only conducted with Spain through Mexico. Because of this, the small businesses and handicraft industries that flourished during the pre-Spanish period gradually disappeared. Second, Spain also extinguished the natives' love of work because of the implementation of forced labor. Filipinos were compelled to work in shipyards, roads, and other public works, abandoning agriculture, industry, and commerce. Third, Spain did not protect the people against foreign invaders and pirates. With no arms to defend themselves, the natives were killed, their houses burned, and their lands destroyed. As a result, the Filipinos were forced to become nomads, lost interest in cultivating their lands or in rebuilding the industries that were shut down, and simply became submissive to the mercy of God. Fourth, there was a crooked system of education. What was being taught in the schools were repetitive prayers and other things that could not be used by the students to lead the country to progress. There were no courses in agriculture, industry and other fields which were badly needed by the Philippines during those times. Fifth, the Spanish rulers were a bad example to despise manual labor. The officials reported to work at noon and left early, all the while doing nothing in line with their duties. The women were seen constantly followed by servants who dressed them and fanned them, personal things which they ought to have done for themselves. Sixth, gambling was established and widely propagated during those times. Almost every day there were cockfights, and during feast days, the government officials and friars were the first to engage in all sorts of bets and gambles. Seventh, there was a crooked system of religion. The friars taught the naive Filipinos that it was easier for a poor man to enter heaven, and so they preferred not to work and remain poor so that they could easily enter heaven after they died. Lastly, the taxes were extremely high, so much so that a huge portion of what the Filipinos earned went to the government or to the friars. When the object of their labor was removed and they were exploited, they were reduced to inaction. Rizal admitted that the Filipinos did not work so hard because they were wise enough to adjust themselves to the warm, tropical climate. An hour's work under that burning sun, in the midst of pernicious influences springing from nature and activity, is equal to a day's labor in a temperate climate. It is important to note that indolence in the Philippines is a chronic malady, but not a hereditary one. Truth is, before the Spaniards arrived on these lands, the natives were industriously conducting business with China, Japan, Arabia, Malaysia, and other countries in the Middle East. The reasons for this said indolence were clearly stated in the essay, and were not based only on presumptions, but were grounded on fact taken from history. Another thing that we might add that had caused this indolence is the lack of unity among the Filipino people. In the absence of unity and oneness, the people did not have the power to fight the hostile attacks of the government and of the other forces of society. There would also be no voice, no leader to sow progress and to cultivate it, so that it may be reaped in due time. In such a condition, the Philippines remained a country that was lifeless, dead, simply existing and not living. As Rizal stated in conclusion, a man in the Philippines is an individual, he is not merely a citizen of a country. It can clearly be deduced from the writing that the cause of the indolence attributed to our race is Spain. When the Filipinos wanted to study and learn, there were no schools, and if there were any, they lacked sufficient resources and did not present more useful knowledge. When the Filipinos wanted to establish their businesses, there wasn't enough capital nor was there protection from the government. When the Filipinos tried to cultivate their lands and establish various industries, they were made to pay enormous taxes and were exploited by the foreign rulers. It is not only the Philippines, but also other countries, that may be called indolent, depending on the criteria upon which such a label is based. Man cannot work without resting, and if in doing so he is considered lazy, then we could say that all men are indolent. One cannot blame a country that was deprived of its dignity to have lost its will to continue building its foundation upon the backs of its people, especially when the fruits of their labor do not so much as reach their lips. When we spend our entire lives worshipping such a cruel and inhumane society, forced upon us by aliens who do not even know our motherland, we are destined to tire after a while. We are not fools, we are not puppets who simply do as we are commanded, we are human beings, who are motivated by our will towards the accomplishment of our objectives, and who strive for the preservation of our race. When this fundamental aspect of our existence is denied us, who can blame us if we turn idle?